May is National Women's Health Month, so we're talking about a topic that impacts millions of women, but still doesn't get talked about enough. We're talking about menopause. From sleep disruptions to mood shifts and weight changes, it can feel overwhelming. But today we're focusing on what actually helps. Joining us now is Dr. LaKeischa McMillan. She's here to share practical lifestyle and wellness shifts that can make a real difference. Welcome, or I should say welcome back. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Elaine. I'm so excited to be here today.
Yeah, it's an important topic, one that affects, again, so many people and still isn't talked about enough.
Absolutely.
So we're glad you're here. Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, let's start simple. What is one of the biggest misconceptions about menopause?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that it is age-related, you know, that you have to wait until a certain time in life to actually start talking about menopause. I feel that what we need to help women understand and our whole community is that it's actually hormonal shifts that can actually start in your mid to late 30s and start with perimenopause and talk about the continuum, and that's one of the biggest misconceptions I would like to clear up.
I'm glad you brought that up because you're right. We're thinking menopause, older, but then these symptoms are happening in your 30s, so you're not quite prepared unless we talk about it and explain. And I know lifestyle shifts can sometimes help. What is one of the most impactful lifestyle change that women can make just to feel a little better during this time?
I think it kind of happens naturally, but it's almost one of those things where they start talking about self-care a lot. We started having that in our zeitgeist and our lexicon, talking about self-care. And I think one of the biggest things you can do is really start looking at what things you can take off your plate, what you can ask help for, what you can do differently throughout your day. Start really saying, do I really need to be running to and fro? Do I need to take this person here? Do I need to take on all of the things? You know, we are in the sandwich generation, so start asking for help. Asking for help and saying no. No is a complete sentence.
I love that.
Okay.
No, period. That's great. And thank you for giving us permission, because you're right. We feel like we still need to do all these things, but no. Is helpful during this time when we got a lot going on.
Exactly.
I know that sleep disturbances is something that's also very common. Talk a little bit about that.
So what happens is, one little thing that I love to help women understand is that one of our hormones, progesterone, actually helps that initiate that sleep cycle that we have at night. It actually tells the brain, hey, it's time to turn this brain off, it's time to land the plane, and progesterone starts dropping in our mid to late 30s. So this is when you can start having those sleep disturbance. It's harder to get to sleep, it's harder to stay asleep and feel that restorative sleep. So some things that you can do, and there are other minerals and vitamins and phytonutrients that go along with that process. So some of the things you can do is increase your magnesium, cool down your room. I say bookend your day. You know, when we were younger, or if you had children, you actually had a bedtime routine. You gave them a bedtime routine. We get away from that as we get older.
That's a good point.
Start having a bedtime routine. It tells your brain, hey, the day is done. It's time to start winding down. So something as simple as a walk, an evening walk, something as simple as going outside. I love grounding. Oh my goodness, I love grounding. That's just literally going outside, putting your feet in the ground.
Bare feet, right?
Barefoot, yes. Or even going out in your plants and putting your hands in the soil, touching the earth. Some of those things you can do can actually bookend your day. It tells your brain, I'm done. It's time for us to start winding down.
All right. These are such great tips. I feel like we could talk forever. You'll have to come back. Thank you so very much. Yeah. To schedule a consultation with Dr. LaKeischa, go to talkhormones.com.